Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man, and some of the boys. How are you all? Hope you're doing very well. Yes, it's Saturday morning, and Kilty's Tavern is already open, and touting for business. Here we are, we're all happy, aren't we? Jürgen, loving your work. So, what have we got for you today? Well, I've got another mask to show you. Oh, it's a doozy, this one. Cheers, you all. Not a new mask, it's been out for quite a while now, from Trick or Treat Studios, and it is being modelled by my glamorous assistant down here, Mr. Kentucky Fudge. Hello, look at this. Aren't we lucky that I didn't bring that up from the middle? That would look really obscene, wouldn't it? It's the Martian drone from Mars Attacks. Look at this guy. Yes, he doesn't come with this luxurious foliage as well. But as I say, it's being sported by my young protege here, who has adopted the correct colour scheme as well. There he is. Oh, look at that. Yeah, the Topps trading cards. We all know them, we all love them. 1962, these were brought out, and this is on the back of their Civil War cards. When I say Civil War, that's not the English Civil War. That's not the Avengers, Captain America Civil War. It's the American Civil War. And I had those cards when I was a kid. I didn't have the Mars Attacks cards till much later. But and the Civil War ones were extremely nasty. Really vivid depictions of, comic book cruelty and depravity and ultra-violence. It was really, really bizarre. Some of the concepts of death and destruction that these writers, because all the backs had lots of little stories on the back of them, but the main image on the front of the card was depicted with grisly excess, and it was really, wow. And then they brought out Mars Attacks. It wasn't called that then, it was called Attack from Space, I think. 55 card set, and Len Brown and Woody Gelman, I've got the names there, they come up with the story about it, and Wally Wood was the EC Comics guy who sketched the main picture, which was then painted in, and the vivid colours were all there. Sadly, I've got none of the cards to show you, because in my enormous life of variety, spontaneity, exuberance and adventure, I have lost those damn cards. Damn it. They got pulled pretty quickly back in 1962, lasted about a year maybe, and then all of a sudden anguished parents clocked what was happening on these cards. Heat rays, freeze rays, people being skinned alive, people having horrible experiments done upon them. They were blasted, shot, incinerated, giant insects were devouring them, giant robots were stomping them flat. It was really blood-curdlingly nasty stuff. But gotta love them. So they got pulled, didn't they? And then they brought out a kind of toned-down version, I think in the 80s. And then later on, just before the film, which you'll hear in the soundtrack too, Tim Burton's version of Mars Attacks. Just before that went into production, when he bought the rights to it, they brought out the full set of 55 cards again, plus another 45 cards added to it. So they're still out there. I will get them. Listen to this. Danny Elfman's fabulous, quirky main march theme, his Martian march, as it were. And it's a throwback. The film is a homage to 1950s sci-fi glory, camp kitsch to the nth degree, as only Tim Burton could possibly produce. A massive all-star cast, and lots of these little fellas, these big-brained, nasty little brutes. And, of course, War of the Worlds, they're defeated by bacteria. The common germ on planet Earth takes out the alien race. But in this, it's Slim Whitman and Indian Love Song, which causes their heads to explode. I love it. Oh. I always forget that I've got one of these sitting here. Anyway, let's look at the mask. As I say, Trick or Treat Studios, and it was actually sculpted by Bruce Spaulding Fuller. It's a great name, that, isn't it? And this guy is the Martian drone. They did release another one, which is the Martian soldier. Now that's a bigger mask again. I mean, this is a pretty large mask. It doesn't come down the back of the neck, but the other one has a huge neck piece and chest piece, and it just seems to sit a lot higher There's a lot more brainage going on and a few more colorations in here. But this is the drone, and it's absolutely a thing of wicked, zany beauty. Look at it. Look at it there. This bulbous brain sack. This, you know. Yeah, you know what I'm thinking. And I know what you're thinking as well. Look at this. Look at the colours. Look at the vividness, the quality of all this. Fabulously well sculpted. The contrast with this sort of sickly green, this almost decomposing Martian green is beautiful. The huge ping pong ball eyes, googly eyes with these, you know, rather cartoonic, over the top, brash veins and capillaries and blood vessels. And of course, the pinched nose missing, because it's a skull, isn't it? It's just a big skull. A skull with a big brain. And of course, they'd have the epic big space helmets on as well. These like giant fishbowl things. And to finish off the effect, if you're ever going to dress up as one of these, you're going to have to do that. Maybe put on a scarlet cape and be the Martian Emperor, Martian Ambassador, I think he is. And you've got all these sort of giblety bits, whatever these are, these little breathing sacs, whatever, who knows what they are. And these lovely, lovely teeth, and a lot of these strange tendons and rips and stretched flesh on the inside there. And these bizarre things, not quite sure what they are. Do they fix to the helmet? Can't remember. Is that? I don't know. But they're there, and it adds another goofy sci-fi quality to it, which is just delightful to behold. Sickly, yet delightful. I love these little pockets here. You've got these trenches where the skull actually sits sort of out from the big brain sac, so it's pronounced. So you've got a hugely, you know, the colour scheme is nice and varied and provides a lot of contrast. The face is vivid and it's in your face. Look at him. He is absolutely tremendous. I love him to bits. I'm going to have to get the other one as well. Now, the thing about this is that this is modelled more on the Topps trading cards image than it is the movie. Although they look like that in the movie pretty much, but Bruce Spaulding Fuller did actually, you know, painstakingly go over all the cards in the set, the original set, and modelled it on the way that they appeared there. A lot of them, they're sort of brownish in colour, and the brains are also brownish, not as vivid as this, but you get plenty where the brains are nice and vivid. Obviously the film really pronounced that side of things. The colours were OTT, absolutely, you know, flamboyant, extravagant, bold, because it was a comic book, a neon comic book brought to life. The film has its detractors. It met with a kind of critical ambivalence. Some people tended to think it was a piss take, a send-up of Independence Day, which of course it isn't. It's basically, it is the Mars Attacks cards just brought into the movies and given a proper storyline with all these incredible, you know, roster of actors. Jack Nicholson, Glenn Close, who else is in there? Michael J. Fox, Jack Black, Danny DeVito, you know? That's just a Tom Jones, come on. Annette Bening, and they're all acting against, well, green screen, because these guys aren't really there. But they're great, and their language, it's just fucking great. And they're only like little pint-sized bastards. And of course, the big landing, you know, and they're all there trying to shake hands. And the ambassador's like, all the US military's there, and all the peace boffins and hippies are there as well. Everyone's watching on TV, tuned in for it. And of course, the general goes to like extend his hand and shake hands, and the alien ambassador's like, whoa, what's that? So he makes the international sign of the donut. So they release the dove of peace. This fucker blows it away. And then all hell ensues. That's it. People are getting melted, you know, and frozen and blown to smithereens. It is tremendous. Charred bodies everywhere. But look at this guy. It is completely zany, isn't it? It's completely goofball. You've got a hint of the Metalunar mutant in there as well, from This Island Earth. You've got John Carpenter very definitely had these guys in mind when he showed us the real aliens in They Live, with the skull faces, the big bright, big googly eyes, and all the vicious, bright colours on their what's left of their skull faces. And yet, as gaudy and as colourful as those creatures are, those scenes are in black and white, aren't they, folks? Yes, because when you take the sunglasses off, when you put the sunglasses on, that's when you see what the world's really like. But Mars attacks. Mars does indeed attack. The sculpt is exquisite, the detailing, and all of these indentations, these gloopy little, side gills, whatever you want to call them. This loopy bit of, metal, whatevers, and this sickly sort of, it looks like it should feel moist and soft, and it should sort of, undulate. It does have that quality, doesn't it? I mean, Topps trading cards wear bubblegum cards, and that has a definite bubblegum sort of look, doesn't it? That colour, that spongy quality to it. Look at it. It is beautiful. Icky, colourful, shiny. I'm often going on about the kind of glistening veneer that other mask producers like Ghoulish Productions, well, especially Ghoulish Productions, seem to be able to come up with to give their mask this finishing touch of glistening life, its vibrancy. And, well, ToTS have done it here really, really well. ToTS and Topps. It was just meant to be, wasn't it? There's a definite sheen and glisten to all of this, especially the brains, and it captures the light really well. Do I wish it came down a bit more at the back? Yes, I do, but then again, because it's meant to be in the space helmets and they have their little green space suits on, maybe you're meant to try to have a high collar. Can't remember. Did they have high collars? I don't know. But when they're kicking ass, like those, and you can hear this wonderful score by Danny Elfman is a deliberate throwback to the films of the 50s, particularly Bernard Herrmann using the theremin for the likes of The Day the Air Stood Still. Good God, my brain stood still then. You've got some brain. You've got enough brains for both of us. And so they used the theremin, but they discovered a lot of trouble with that. Nothing says sci-fi more than the theremin, which is an electronic instrument, which you use your hands to create sound waves by rubbing them, sort of just around this frame. And it's like one of those things where you can't touch, you've got a little spoon-like thing, and you've got to go around this metal frame, and if you hit it, electric shock goes off, like. But you manipulate the sound waves around this thing, and it creates that wonderful, eerie, sort of, sound. I think this is the dove bit. The dove's flying through the air. It's about to get wasted. But they had trouble with it because they had it playing with a live orchestra. But the theremin's quite an unpredictable instrument. It makes a different sound between take to take to take. It kept changing its pitch because no matter how good you are with it, it's very hard to incorporate it with a live orchestra. So in the end, they ended up using the Ons Martineau, which is a variation of the theremin, but it's a lot easier to use apparently. So in the finished score, you've got the real theremin with the live orchestra, then you've got theremin overdubs where they got the people to go and redo the bits which didn't work and do it in a different studio, and you've also got the Ons Martineau as well playing. But the whole thing creates this wonderful, pure sci-fi goofiness and this spectacular, eerie quality to a film which is OTT, camp, and utterly ridiculous. Full of splatstick, but really, really clever as well. Very funny. And whether you take him as being from the film, or you take him from the comics, the comic book cards, then it matters not, because that is a wonderful piece of latex lunacy. I'm sure you'll all agree. What's that you're saying? Yes. Okay, I will. I'll put it on. Oh, before I do put it on, it comes with a load of tags, this one. Look at that, Mars Attack. There's like the original imagery from the cards. And there's a picture of this guy himself. Then you get the obligatory masks to die for, trick or treat, care for your mask card. And then you get one in a foreign language, because I don't know what you call like a big assortment of tags, a turbulence of tags, you could say. But there you go. So you get all those. For those that like marks on the inside, you'd think I'd have checked this before I did the video. No. Well, I'll tell you what I've just found here. Under the chinny chin chin. Don't know if you can read that. It does say sculpted. Sculpted by Bruce Spaulding. 2000. Oh, I can't make out that. 2015 by ToTS. Made in Mexico. So it's tucked away under the chin there. So that's not too bad. I always do have a little thing about licensing and brand names actually, you know, sculpted into masks. Masks which are meant to be an alien's head or a monster's face, where obviously, you know, you would have nothing in there originally. But things like the Michael Myers mask, I don't mind that, because that would be a mask which someone, whether Michael or whoever, has took off the shelf in a, you know, a toy shop. Oh yeah, the sponge is in there as well on the inside. You can see that? 2 big sponge strips there, because obviously it's a bit of an outsized mask. That said, it's a bit of a thin face. How am I going to get that over my pumpkin face? No offence to pumpkin faces. I think what you do is you put your chin in first. Yeah, that's how you do it. Yes. Isn't it? There's such a wild life to it. Those eyes, I know they're completely goofball, but they look spectacular, don't they? Oh, when Slim Whitman comes on, you know. Oh yeah, I'm loving it. Actually, it's very easy to get on and off. But I think if you're going to do it, I think you put your chin in there, just behind Bruce Spaulding's stamp, and then slide your noggin into it, into this bulbous brain sack. I think it's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Sorry folks, filming here in the Kilty's Tavern, we have the huge bay windows just there, and I'm overlooking one of the main thoroughfares of the Kilted realm. And very often when I'm sitting here reviewing something, Mr. Posty comes and knocks at the door, and there's another package for me. And I kind of, because I'm waiting for something else, you see, and I was kind of like, if I do it now, I might see the postman, like an omen, you know, sort of thing. And he's walked past, didn't stop here. Shit! Kilt-Man, you are never happy. You are never satisfied, are you? Look, just celebrate this guy for now. Don't worry about the next package arriving. Things always arrive. Just give it time. Learn some patience. And there's always whiskey to console us. So yeah, folks, what do you think? Do you like the movie? Do you like the cards? Do you remember the cards? More importantly, do you remember the Civil War cards? Because, oh, I'd love to get hold of them again. Weirdly, despite all people getting blown apart by cannon fire and, you know, bayoneted and shot to bits and set on fire and everything, really gruesome stuff. The card I remember really vividly is of, I think it's a Union soldier who's being pushed off a ridge. Someone's pushing him off a ridge, and he's like that going, because right below him is a bunch of Confederate soldiers with bayonets pointed up, so it's literally a bed of spikes he's going to fall onto. And it's a look of horror on his face. He hasn't hit the spikes, but he's about to, and it's like, oh my God, what a situation to find yourself in. Could be worse. You could be greeting pint-sized aliens with fish tanks on their head. I can't believe how good he looks. That is fun. That's demented fun, isn't it? I think that's one of the critical responses to the film. I think people said it's zany, demented fun, and that is what these cards and these characters are all about. They are wicked, but they're having a damn good time doing it. You know. Nice planet. We'll take it. It's great, isn't it? I'll take you around the back again there. Look at all these bits, these trenches, these grooves, and this central valley as well. Here's their theme again. Yeah, this glistening is great. The chiselled out of the nose cavity, the nasal cavity. So it's definitely a skull. You know, there's no two ways about that. It is a skull. Just with the enhanced eyeballage and the huge brain sackage. Well, folks, this has already catapulted itself into being one of my favourite masks. And as you know, I've got a lot. I've got a lot of favourites as well. No offence. But this captures exactly what you see on the cards. And not just in the sculpt and in the paintwork, which is truly unparalleled. It's got its own inner quality of life and mischief. They've captured that electrifying moment. You know, I'm gonna fry you, human earthling. Look at it. These in the film, they do sort of move about, don't they? They rise and fall when they get excited. Anyway, folks, there you go. That is the Martian drone from the Mars Attacks bubblegum cards, as made by Trick or Treat Studios. Tops meet tots, and it's a thing of wondrous, icky, slimy, pustulant beauty. Honestly, I don't think I've been as immediately smitten with a mask as I have with this guy. The minute I opened it, and he didn't come in a box. Sadly, he came special delivery, but he was just in a bag, and I thought the worst. I thought, oh, come on. I know it's got a big outsized brain. If that's all going to be stowed in, you know what? But the minute I opened it, ba-doing, there he was. No stowage. Nice and pristine. Sorry, folks. I really am having a good time with this. The other one, as I say, has it's a much bigger mask. So you've got quite a bit down the front here. I presume it comes down the back as well. And the brain sits up higher again, and there's a bit more coloration here. I think there's blues and stuff going on in this area here of the cranium. But I might get that as well. But he's a lot more expensive. This cost me, what did it cost me? I think it was 50 quid. 49.99. English pines we're talking here. Pines. But you know, that's a good proper, you know, it's one of the biggie masks. It's not a cheap one. This is a big proper mask. Would probably been a lot more expensive initially, but yeah. If you haven't got one, go get one. Place your order now. Because I can't recommend it enough. Come Halloween, whether you set this up in the garden or in a window or whatever, it's going to look amazing. Or if you're going to dress up as it, you know. And I'm kind of the right height for these guys as well. Brilliant, just brilliant. And don't forget to take a dove with you, which you can set on fire. Because, you know, you can always barbecue it, can't you? You know? Tastes like chicken, apparently. Folks, there we go. The drone. The Martian drone. Oh. Yeah, the other one's called a Martian soldier, the much bigger one. I don't know what the difference is, really. I don't know why. Who's he? What do the drones do then? I don't know. Folks, anyway. On that note, I'll let you all ponder the practicality of drones, Martian drones. And in the meantime, and indeed, the in-between time, Watch the skies. Keep looking. Keep watching the skies. For flaming doves! And I'm going to see you all later. Mars will attack.